Alright, what's going on, y'all? This your boy, Bruce Leroy. Welcome back to the Bruce Leroy channel. So, as promised, it's going to be a double upload coming up. Alright, cool. As promised, it's going to be a double upload coming up. So, obviously, we got the Eagles vid first, be recapping the draft and the undrafted free agents that we've acquired. And this was going to be a little bit special. It's going to be a video about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. This is something that's been kind of going on, been kind of going crazy last week, especially this weekend. I just want to give some thoughts. I got my notes here because I don't remember all the name of the songs and shit like that. So, you're going to notice that as I'm talking about this beef, I'm going to do the best I can, try to multitask because I'm trying to finish up this session here because I've been trying to rack my fucking brain on trying to get the right timing of the goddamn hook. I had it right the first time, I fucked with it, and now I just did some stupid shit. So I'm trying to hurry up right now and trying to get everything set to go. Like, I'm subscribed, I kick all your ass. I can't do that because shit, this session's kicking my ass. Follow me on all my social medias at I am Bruce Leroy. Alright, so as we know, this weekend's been kind of going a little bit crazy, man. Obviously, you know, like I said before, this video is about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. And basically, you know what I'm saying, it started off with Metro Boomin and Future's album. I'm not trying to give y'all a whole rundown of it. I'm just basically, because y'all kind of know what it is already, I'm just giving y'all a little bit of background to let y'all know that I'm aware of what's going on. Pretty much like everybody else. So obviously, the verse started off with, the beef started off with Like That, which is a Kendrick Lamar verse we haven't really received in a while because he just be in his hiatus and shit like that. He like the goddamn groundhog that only pop out like every February 2nd to see if we're gonna, you know, get 6 more weeks of winter and spring and shit. But bottom line is this: outside of that corny ass shit I just said, double check to make sure that I don't have any many clips. Yeah. So, obviously, it started off with Like That. You know, basically, dude was like, yo, fuck a big three. I'm the big me. Because if you remember, J. Cole referenced it in First Person Shooter on Drake's For All the Dogs album. So, okay, got you, son. No, I gotta do it. Gotta replace all the auto-tune. Great. So, yeah, that's pretty much what ended up happening, man. He ended up, you know, J. Cole was giving props to both Drake and Kendrick. You know, a little bit of unity. In that First Person Shooter song. And, you know, Drake has been known on stage to, you know, give a lot of credit to J. Cole and shit like that. In my honest opinion, I'm very much in agreement with J. Cole that it's kind of like, I want to say what I'm saying without saying that Drake, I'm going to say this. To me, and this is just my opinion, Drake is very much comfortable with people who will have no threat of overtaking his position. If you pay attention to people who he hangs out with, guys like Lil Yachty and shit like that. Because I'll give you a perfect example. XXXTentacion, right? So there was I think it was More Life, one of his albums, a mixtape album with a kiss to be. It was his father who had a pipe in his mouth, a cigar. One of them dumbass little pipes that Sherlock Holmes be smoking and shit. So he had it in his mouth. Y'all already know what the goddamn album is, right? So I don't have to repeat that. So on one of the songs, I don't remember which song it was. It was like some British dude that was featuring. Basically, people were assuming that Drake had copied. No, word got out that his fans was like, "Yo, that's your flow." You know what I'm saying? So, X basically did a video. Was like, hey man, listen, when I was fighting my trial and shit like that, you could have gave me a feature, you could have gave me a shout out or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Could have gave me like a cosign or something like that. So I'm thinking like, you know what? And this is me outside looking at it. Now, granted, I didn't notice at the time because what was it like? What shit like around like 2017 or some shit like that? I was like, all I was doing was like listening to instrumentals. I honestly. I'm going to keep it real with you, and you might say it's embarrassed or whatever the case may be. That's y'all. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I started listening to Drake. My first full-length project that I've listened to of Drake was Certified Lover Boy. And I only listened to it because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to see what this hype about. Because he had went on a little bit out. Obviously, Drake is very consistent now. Like, probably one of the more consistent artists now. But there was a period of time where he was kind of a little inconsistent. With, like, he had a long-ass hiatus. So when he came out, I was just interested. Needless to say, this project was it was disappointing to me. It was disappointing. Like I didn't like her loss, and For All the Dogs, which is a much better upgrade. Like I'm not saying the rapping wasn't bad on there. He had some stuff where he was like rapping. I don't know why I keep looking at the same shit twice. But yeah, he had some shit where he was rapping. But overall, needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed in Certified Lover Boy. But you know, I think in my opinion, if I was Drake, what I would have done in that situation, I would have been like, yo, man, like listen, man, I wasn't trying to copy your flow, and I would have showed love because at the end of the day, X had his own movement going on. You feel me? And ain't no reason to beef over fucking stealing somebody else's flow. I think that shit is stupid, right? So if I was Drake, you know, being the man that I was, out of respect, I would have been like, you know what, man, don't worry. It's a misunderstanding. I wasn't trying to. I didn't copy your flow, whatever the case may be, and just show love. You know what I'm saying? Because Drake, X didn't take it that seriously in the beginning. You know, X was like, yo, man, you gonna copy my flow, whatever. At least show me some love type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, for some odd reason, Drake never took X under his wing, and it didn't make sense to me because he pretty much does it with everybody else now. He tried to do it with Ice Spice. That didn't really turn out too well, but Ice Spice definitely need a co-sign at this point. I think we're all in agreement on that. And then he's done it with Sexy Red. He just recently did it with Four Bats. So yeah, most of the time, man, he did it with Fetty Wap and so on and so forth. So he be looking out. So it's just a little bit odd to me how he never took X under his wing. And then you look at Lil Yachty. No disrespect to Lil Yachty, I'm not saying that he isn't a legend in his own right and he hasn't done anything of any worthy significance. But when we're talking about like the greatest hip hop artist of all time, Yachty, you know, had his era. I think he, in a way, was a success. But he's not Drake, Cole, or Ken successful. We're not putting him in the top 50 or 100 hip hop artists of all time. It's not happening. You feel me? So I don't. Maybe he does crack the top 100 in some of y'all lists. That's y'all list. You feel me? So maybe he does for y'all. But for me personally, he doesn't crack that list. But I just noticed it's just a little bit weird to me how he never took him under his wing. And I just came to the conclusion, and honestly, no disrespect to J. Cole, this is the truth. Do I feel like that, you know, offhand, if Drake and Cole will ever get to beef or get into a battle, which won't happen because, you know, J. Cole apologized and shit, which, you know, I think there's two sides to look at that apology. I think on one end, you could say, well, that was a sucker-ass move because, like, yo, hip-hop's supposed to be competitive. Ain't nobody likes this beef for bloodshed. We like this beef because it's motherfuckers who can rap. You know what I'm saying? It's not like drill music and shit where, you know, the appeal of that shit is, you know, motherfuckers actually hurting each other. No, this is rap. Y'all niggas is rapping, right? And then when you talk a lot of all that shit, you gotta back it up. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna talk shit that you him and you him type shit. All right, cool. Now you gotta back it up. So at the end of the day, it just kind of just threw all of that the trash talking out the window because I'm like, hold on a second, wait a minute, bro. Like you talking that big shit, all right? So if you gonna talk that big shit, bro, you gotta be about it. You feel me? So to me, a lot of that shit just didn't make sense, in my opinion. But I think the one reason why he showed J. Cole love because he knows that, especially record wise. Rapping wise, whatever. I guess we'll never see the day of that to figure out who's the better rapper between the two. But artist wise, Drake blows Cole out the water. It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? As far as hits and ability, actually Kendrick and Drake have more of a conversation than J. Cole and Drake when it comes to when you're speaking on artistry. You know what I'm saying? So I just always found it odd how he never put his arms around X, and it didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So, again, at that time, I wasn't aware of that, but later on, just kind of looking at it, I'm like, yeah, it's a little weird. But bottom line is this. I think Drake is very calculated in what he does, and honestly, it just seemed like that if you're not a threat to him, then there's a chance that, you know, he might befriend you, and you be thinking to yourself, oh, he's just doing it out of love, but really, in a way, it's kind of putting you in your place. And I'll give you another example with The Weeknd, right? See, The Weeknd realized that, hey, listen, I'm going to use Drake for the time being because I'm brand new. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ride the cosign. I'm I'm ride the coattails till the wheels fall off. But when it's time for me to branch out on my own, shit, I'm gonna do what I do myself because he was confident in his own brand. And then now look at the Weeknd now. Weeknd's one of the best artists in the world right now. Like he's just as big of a star in his own right as Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the world we always think of everything in terms of hip hop, but Weeknd is just as big of an artist. Just as big of an artist. He's not bigger than Drake, but he's just as big. You feel me? So yeah. So basically, the Weeknd was like, yo, I'm gonna ride the coattails. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm brand new to this scene. Let me scope everything out, and then when it's time for me when I'm ready to branch out on my own, I'm gonna do that. So that's what he did. But my problem is with Drake is with that situation was like he should have showed X a lot more love, and I just think that in my opinion, if I had my theory, I just feel like that he just only befriends certain niggas that like he knowed for a fact that they have no chance. They have no chance of overtaking his throne or his position in hip hop or his position in music, if that makes sense. So if you too good at what you do, and that's why a lot of the niggas that he put his arms around or whatever the case may be, he be like, yeah. And you look at his own label. Outside of Party Next Door, kind of, there really hasn't been one person that really broke out and really branched out on their own and really became a mega star. You can say, well, maybe Party Next Door has some self-inflicted wounds as far as, trying to put himself out there more, but, realistically speaking, bro, I'm going to keep it real with you, like, he, let me show everything lit up. Yeah. So he never really, obviously there's, again, some self-inflicted wounds from time to time, but for Party Next Door, but really nobody in this label really broke out like that. And it's just, it tells you something right then and there that, like, there's a possibility that my theory could be correct. He's very calculated about his friendships and his relationships in the industry. And if he feels like that you have a chance to be too bigger than him, he's not fucking with you. And it's something I noticed on my own. It's not something I like somebody told me, whatever. I'm hearing certain stories and I'm trying to piece certain shit. I keep fucking up. I'm hearing certain stories and I'm just trying to piece certain shit together. You feel me? So that's pretty much what that is. That's how I operate when it comes to that. You feel me? So, what is the name of the goddamn song? Okay. Yeah, man, so that's pretty, let me double check to make sure I'm still filming here. But yeah, it all started off on the, like that verse. And then it turns out what the reference was that academics revealed on his stream that, Kendrick was supposed to be on a song with Drake. So with Drake and J. Cole, it was supposed to be the big three coming together in a way. So essentially, what ended up happening is, Kendrick was like, "Hell no, I ain't doing a song with you, bro, because I don't fuck with you like that." You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? We still got shit for us to hash out. So that's why that never came to fruition. So we fast forwarded now, and then Drake came out with his push-ups, basically dissed Rick Ross, and Rick Ross revealed in his diss track. I think Rick Ross ended up putting out his diss track after He ended up putting his diss track out after whatever the fuck you call it. Hold on, is it 14 here? Double check. So he put his diss track after Drake came out with push-ups, and basically he was dissing Metro, he dissed Kendrick, and I think he dissed Rick Ross as well. So Rick Ross revealed in his diss track that Drake allegedly sent a cease and desist to French Montana over a song, and I think what ended up happening was Drake was supposed to be on one of the songs. I don't exactly remember what happened after that, but that's basically why Rick Ross unfollowed Drake. And a lot of motherfuckers was unfollowing Drake and shit like that after the Like That song, and after the album was out and it got the buzz, because the whole industry basically was going against the whole industry seemed like, and then you had Nav, who was like doing some weird shit as well. So the whole shit was just weird to me. But yeah, that pretty much was it. Just gonna zip these files here. Yeah, so that pretty much was what it was. So yeah, moving forward with that, I'm sorry I'm scatterbrained. I'm just kind of all over the place right now. So then I believe after that, what was the other one after that? Okay, cool. So Drake came out with 2 disses in a row. So I'm moving over to Rick Ross. Drake came out, by the way, that Rick Ross diss was fantastic. I was pleasantly surprised because in a way, in my opinion, Rick Ross is kind of overrated. And he's overrated because he just like, he's never been that lyrical of a rapper. I just feel like that he fit a certain mold when it comes to like luxury rap, quote unquote. And I feel like he's representative of that. That's the master. Okay, cool. I feel like he's representative of that. But I don't necessarily, Rick Ross is a little overrated. I'm not saying he's trash, nothing like that. He got some hits. But he's a little overrated if you ask me. As far as we're talking about like lyrical guys, like guys who are like MCs, he's a little overrated in a lot of aspects. You feel me? So, it's either here or there. So he dropped, so the Give Me 50, Drop It, Give Me 50, whatever you want to call that shit. It was with Wu Kid or whatever. That was pretty good. I like that one. And then fast forward, and he dropped 2 in a row. He dropped this tailor-made freestyle where he basically kind of imitated what Kendrick was doing on the Heart Part 5. So he basically did an AI verse with Tupac and Snoop, and that shit was hot garbage. I'm not gonna lie to you. The AI, Snoop, and Pac voices were so bad that even though Drake was also on the actual song, I didn't even fucking care to actually like hear his. Hold on, I gotta erase that shit. I didn't care to actually hear his verse. That's how fucking bad it was. Like it was awful. You feel me? Probably like one of the worst fucking songs I ever heard in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people say, oh, it was really good. No, the fuck it wasn't. I don't know what niggas was smoking on and shit. That shit was ass. If you want me to keep it all the way 1,000 with you, that shit was garbage. I'm keeping it real with y'all. I apologize to all those who felt otherwise, but nah, hell no. That shit was garbage, my nigga. I'm keeping it real with you. So, long story short, the tailor-made freestyle was garbage. I didn't like it. It came to the point, like I said before, the Snoop and the Pac verse was so bad, I didn't give a fuck to actually sit up there and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see what else. I couldn't focus on Drake's verse. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward with that, then all of a sudden after about 2 weeks, I said, why the fuck is goddamn what's the name taking all day? Like what's the name is taking all fucking day for his for the diss. Like this dude, he's taking too fucking long. So, lo and behold, I can look at the camera now because I'm doing what I'm doing pretty much. Lo and behold, he came out with Euphoria. Let me just film it too. All right, yeah. So he came out with Euphoria after about like fucking 2 weeks. Everybody's like, yo, Kendrick is basically gone. He's out of here. He's done. Came out with Euphoria. Euphoria is pretty good. I like the beat switches on that. And he did a really good job with. I'm packing my shit, so excuse me, y'all. He did a really good job. The beat switches were nice, but everybody mixed. Like the Kendrick stands were like going crazy, and then Drake stands was like, it wasn't good enough. Other people was like, it wasn't good enough. You know, he waited too long. If he would have did the diss like immediately after that, it probably would have been better. But it wasn't good enough to wait 2 weeks. I thought the shit was fine. He didn't need to go. Everybody was looking for him to go scorch earth or do what Pusha T did with Story of Addian. It wasn't necessary. I thought he did exactly what I thought Kendrick did exactly what he was supposed to do regarding the disses. I thought it was well placed. So Euphoria was a dub. So after Euphoria, he came out with, I believe, another song after called 616. So 616 had multiple meanings to it. Tupac's birthday is on June 16th. I think Canadian Father's Day is on June 16th as well. So there's multiple meanings to that shit. I'm not going to lie to you. That was an L for Kendrick because what ended up happening was, right, you gonna come out with a diss track twice in a row, right? Number one, the whole goddamn track didn't even seem like it was directed towards Drake. Really, the only time it was obvious, at least to me, where he was dissing Drake was, the fuck you call it? The latter half of the song. It just seemed like a regular record that he just squeezed in. And then he said some shit where, oh yeah, you got some moles in your camp and shit like that. And I'm like, okay. Well, you already came out with your warm-up thing already, so I think now it's time to go. Now it's time to go scorched earth, sir. There's no more this pussyfooting around. So I thought that honestly, I thought 616 was mid as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I even put that shit on my social media. So I'm taking my shit off, but I'm still talking. So after that, I think Drake on the Saturdays, about Saturday night, dropped Family Matters. Really good track. I really liked how he was candid. He was candid about, you talk about Future. He talked about the Rick Ross situation. He was very candid about a lot of things that he mentioned. Kendrick about how he allegedly beat on his wife and shit like that. And then how Dave Free, he's actually taking care of, like, I guess the child they have together was Dave Freeze, which is, I believe, the Kendrick's manager over in TDE. So that's what he mentioned. That I thought Fat Man was a pretty good track. You know what I'm saying? It was a little drill element to it as well. It was a dope track. You know what I'm saying? Like I was excited. So I'm like, all right, I get that dub to Drake. Then Kendrick drops immediately. So he drops Meet the Grams. So he alleges that Drake had a 11-year-old that he never. He alleges that Drake had an 11-year-old daughter that he never not taking care of. That he abandoned, kind of like what Pusha T was referencing in Adonis, because he was ashamed of the baby mother, whatever the case may be. So what ended up taking place was Mitch is an 11-year-old daughter. So I'm thinking he's gonna pick up from what happened with 616 about mentioning the moles and actually naming names. He didn't do none of that shit. So I was just confused about the whole thing. What's the name of that shit? Yeah, Meet the Grams. So he talks about Adion. He talks about how Drake's likes is a pedophile in the way. Because he got caught with young girls and shit like that. But he very lightly touches on it. So I'm like, all right, this shit ain't cutting it. And then right after that track, I was very convinced that Kendrick Lamar, he didn't name names about who was the moles, which I would expect that, you know, you got to pick up where you left off, and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that shit doesn't make sense. So I was like, you know what? I'm a little surprised because in the beginning, I'm like, you know, Kendrick seems like a more intellectual individual to me. He seemed like he's a much more book-smart dude. So I'm like, because his Mr. Morale album was very much kind of like, what you call it? His Mr. Morale album was very much kind of like a play, in a way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like a regular album. It really felt like a Broadway production, like the way how he told the stories and shit like that. So I'm thinking like Kendrick's gonna wash Drake, but the bars wasn't crazy at all. He never had one bar, about 3.5 to 4 tracks in. He never had one bar that really jumped out at me. I even put it on social media. Because Kiro on Twitter, who's like, you know, pretty much like one of the biggest dudes on Twitter, like he goes viral on a regular basis. He was like, yeah, y'all ain't ready for that conversation that Drake is better than Kendrick Lamar. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. Drake right now is going harder. Then all of a sudden, out the blue, Kendrick drops Not Like Us. Sorry, my fault. And then he had everybody going crazy. Because the beat was fire, DJ Mustard did the production, the song was something you could dance to, and Kendrick was actually going hard on that one. And he had a bar about, you know, A minor, get it? A minor, the chord, and then A minor. Y'all get it. I didn't get the shit at first, then I started scrolling social media, and I'm like, oh, shit. So basically, everything that I was saying that Kendrick lacked, he basically put all that to rest in Like Us. So what was monumental about that song, not only was that song a great record, Like Us, by the way, I believe 616 was produced by The Alchemist, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams was produced by The Alchemist. But yeah, the song was actually fire, man. And he actually came with bars. He came hard. Like the song was a vibe. Like Kendrick got a hit. But here's what really damaged Drake. Now the beat changed the perception of Drake. Now niggas is trying to do Drake like how they doing Diddy at this moment. It's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? So now niggas is really looking into Drake, because I've heard of these rumors and these little short videos motherfuckers was clipping of Drake, but I didn't really pay too much mind to it. Now where niggas really on social media, they was really like getting at this nigga. They like, yo, this nigga's a such and such. Like really getting at him. Like about to cancel him for real, for real. So to me, that was kind of crazy. So basically, what Kendrick did was so powerful was he couldn't divert his attention to Kendrick. He had to address the elephant in the room, which was the pedo allegations. So that was a huge W, because not only did he have a great record, he actually, he gave Drake a real problem. He had a real problem on his hands. Because now he has to shut down the rumors. So he can't focus on trying to take Kendrick's head off. He got to shut down the rumors. By the way, real quickly, some of y'all Kendrick stans been like, yeah, well, why is he talking about Drake's race, about how he's not black when he has a light-skinned wife? Here's how stupid y'all motherfuckers is. Kendrick doesn't give a fuck about Drake being light-skinned. That's not the point of what he was trying. What he was trying to say is that Drake utilizes his the way he uses black, the fact that he's black. He only claims it when it's beneficial and profitable to him, which means that he doesn't really partake, or actually isn't really about the culture or embrace him being black. He only embraces it when it gives him street cred or when it makes some type of profit in one way or the other. So that was the purpose of him calling Drake about how he's not really black and things of that nature. It had nothing to do with him being light-skinned. But y'all fucking Drake's and Kendrick's thing, I'm getting on y'all asses too, because y'all was saying a lot of dumb shit as well. Both of y'all were annoying the fuck, both standards, or like super fans, they both were annoying the fuck out. They actually like really kind of annoyed me. Here's another thing too that really killed me. We're going to do Heart Part 6. I'm talking about that. So Heart Part 6, I believe, was released last night by Drake. And I got to say, it was mid. Because what ended up happening was Kendrick did so much damage to Drake that Drake couldn't actually really address Kendrick. He basically was saying the same shit he said on Family Matters, just in shorter sentences. And basically saying Drake was going to bow out and shit like that. So this is what I can't stand, right? And I did troll Metro on social media, but I just did it out of playing around. I don't actually hate the dude, nor am I choosing a side. Now, I like Drake's music more than Kendrick Lamar, but it doesn't mean I hate Kendrick Lamar because he's beefing, or I hate Drake or anyone. I have no horse in the race. I'm literally just enjoying the festivities, you feel me? So basically, I bet. Metro Boomin, rather than utilizing his album release, use that time to diss Drake. This nigga starts trying to invite himself. It sounded like, you remember Martin's character Bilal in the house party?
Oh yeah? Anything y'all could do, I also could do, but I could also do it better.
When Kid and Play were having a rap battle, and this nigga was like, anything you can do, I can do better. That's what the fuck that shit reminded me of. I'm like, my nigga, Metro, stay the fuck out the way. You had plenty. You had a deluxe album and a full-length album to get at Drake. Why the fuck is you getting at Drake now? So you came out with this little stupid-ass beat that nobody asked for. This BBL Drizzy sample that somebody else did in AI. And basically saying, yo, whoever got the best verse, I'll give him a free beat or some shit like that. So, you know, it is what it is with that. But that shit was annoying. Like Metro. It's an A and B conversation between Kendrick and Drake. See your ass out of it, please. Exit stage right, because you're annoying. You had plenty of time to go get at this nigga. You now going to raid on Kendrick. No, let Kendrick have his moment of fame. Right now, when he came out with Like That, he really did a lot of damage to Drake. A lot. Because now he had to think about his career as a professional level and the fact that it could very well be over. They could turn the tide and start launching Same shit how they did with R. Kelly, same shit how they doing with Diddy. Maybe not as much because everybody's attention distracted right now, but it's basically the same shit. Once they cancel, they really go in. So yeah, man, that's all I got to say. But overall, this beef has really made some entertaining. 2024 has been really entertaining. Musically, it's been really stepping up. Like, my favorite song out this year so far is Lay Banks, Tell Your Girlfriend. It's really been stepping up this year, man. It's really nice to see competitors back in hip-hop and shit like that, so I can't really complain. But that's all I got to say about the beef, y'all. My fault I couldn't stay in front of the camera, but I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. The Eagles video is out. We'll be coming out on the studio vlog real soon, and I'm out of here. Peace.